Hi folks, hope you're doing well. Just a quick video. Right, what has been on my mind is to do a video speaking about it from a man's point of view to any, especially young women, because young women need to understand. They're just coming into the world as an adult. Do they understand what their value is at the age of 18, 19, 20? And no, most women don't understand what their value is at that age. So therefore, okay, let's talk about that then. I did a video recently talking about the fact of why it is the case that men are designed to be sexually attracted to various women. Well, the majority of women. Yeah, why certainly men are more likely to be attracted to women than women are to men. You know, to 70%. Yeah, that sort of range. And of course, when understanding that, you have to understand, therefore, that it is very much a case that most men, if you watch that video, you will understand that most men, therefore, most men of a fighting age, or slightly beyond the fighting age, most men who would survive a war and could still produce children, would be very attracted to a young woman of 18, 19, 20. And the reason being is because of the fact that she's counted as incredibly virile. Yeah, the possibility that she would have children is, unhealthy children, is far better than a woman who's 35, 36, up to 45. The older you get, the less chance there is that you would be able to have many children healthily. So therefore, yes, of course. But also their bodies are going to be so much better and, less decayed. So, less droopy, all that sort of stuff. So therefore, they've still got breasts that will stand to attention. Whereas, most older women don't. They point downwards as they get older. Yep, that's the reality. Okay, well, that's true though, so, But therefore, as a young lady, you need to understand, whether you're in church or not in church, it doesn't matter. Because a lot of people think if you're in church, then people see you differently. No, they don't. They don't. It's just not as obvious as it is in the world. Well, it's not as obvious as it is in the places in the world where it's obvious. You go to nightclubs and places like that, it's obvious. You get men drooling. You get men buying you drinks. And again, women, if you're a young woman, a man is not buying you drinks because he thinks you're nice, okay? He doesn't know you, okay? He's not buying you drinks because he wants to have a conversation with you, because generally speaking, any young man, if he wants to have a conversation, he's not going to pick a young woman who's 18, 19, 20, because they don't have anywhere near enough life experience to really have an intelligent conversation. Most days, not all of them, because you will get. But again, a man is not going to buy a woman a drink banking on the fact that she's the one who he can have an intelligent conversation with. No. Most men, the high majority of men who go to nightclubs, go there to meet a woman purely for the point of sex. That's it. That is it. Young men are driven by that. Their desire for sex. They're driven by it. That's why you've got a lot of young men who now believe or act as if they hate women. who do these videos talking crap about women and hatred towards women, and they want to kill women, etc. Whatever they're saying, they say all this nasty stuff. They don't hate women. They honestly don't hate women. They hate the fact that women don't notice them, because those men are sex-starved, sex-hungry men, and their frustration turns to anger, which turns to hatred. But it's not real hatred, because if a woman approached one of those men and says, "Yeah, you're my type, I want you," suddenly all that hatred, all that anger would disappear. Just disappear. Yeah. Women, certainly in the past, women were or are, it's in their nature, what they want is relationship. Young men, complete sex. Not really. Young men know that women want relationships, so therefore they will play with the idea of relationship just because they want to get you into bed. That's it. Because most times once they got you into bed, the idea of a relationship for the men is no thank you. Again, women understand. So look, generally speaking, I would still find a young girl very attractive. I wouldn't be interested in one of that age, 18, 19, 20. The reason why is simply because of the fact there's nothing in common. For me, personality and their nature, and to be able to have a conversation is far more important. I'm not interested in having a family or anything like that. Now, so therefore, no. So I'm not looking for someone who's virile, couldn't care less. A super tight body, but God can sort that out, so I'm not worried about that. But I can still look at someone of that age and think, my God, she's beautiful. But, I've never been one, never been one to approach girls. That was never really in my nature. Certainly not to try and get a girl into bed. That was never for me. No. So that makes it, I suppose, easier as you get older not to try and do that anymore. But getting back to the point, so if you're a young woman, then you have to understand, any man who wants conversation, he will go to a woman 25 plus. He will go to someone that's had life. He will go to someone that's been through university, who's gained a degree of knowledge of handling life, and who actually has some idea of who she is and what she likes and what she enjoys and what her passions are. Now, generally speaking, 18-year-olds, very, very little chance that they would know that. 19-year-olds, still very, very little. 20-year-olds, not much more. By the time they get to like 25, then you've got more of a chance that they would have some idea. But so that's why conversation is not what they're looking for. You don't offer that. Relationship, no chance. Generally speaking, okay, if you are the ultimate man, if you're someone who's earning millions from millions, and you go to the gym, you've got the most buff body, you're 6'3", but 30 years old, you might look at a girl who's 20, maybe 19, 18, no, but maybe 19, maybe 20. Again, it's to do with the fact, if she's very beautiful, you'd be looking at that. You might be looking at the tightness of the body because of youth. You would be looking at the point of the possibility that she could have children and be healthy, as in be able to live through that and have healthy children and good looking children, because you want to pass your genes on for your children. So if you're a good looking man, you want a good looking woman, right? Yeah. So you look at those sort of things. Most men couldn't care less. Most men really couldn't care less. So therefore, that's why I say, if you're that age, then be aware that the biggest attraction, the thing you've got of worth, is a vagina. Is a young vagina. That's it. That's your worth. It really is. Should it be that way? Of course not. No. But in the world that we live in, at that age, you've not got the other things of worth yet. The only thing you have got of worth is you are now of legal age. That's it. Because you haven't developed anything else yet. That is the truth. But when you understand that, you know what the waters are. You know how choppy they're going to be. So I'm not saying this to have a go at women. No, I'm not saying this to have a go at men. I'm saying this because women need to be aware of that fact, and aware that, generally speaking, when you go to places to meet up, when you try and meet up with men, the majority of men are going to be focusing purely on that element. They're not looking for anything else from you apart from that. And that's been the way it has been for quite a long time. You've got to go back a long time, to find someone who was 18 who was mature enough, to consider as being worth more than that at that age. Around about 200 years ago. And that's the reason, because kids left school at a much younger age. Unless you were very, very wealthy, you would leave school at about 13, and therefore you'd start life. And so by the time you got to 18, you'd been living that life and working and learning how to deal with the situations of the world for 5 years. So basically, most young ladies don't start doing that sort of thing now until they're about 18. So it works out at about the same. About a 5 year gap. So 23, 25 is when you'd start to look at them and think, okay, now we can have a conversation. Now we can sit down. Now she's of an age where, you only have to go on places like Instagram to see how airheaded most young women are. Most young women really think that the best idea that they can do with an Instagram account is put quite revealing photographs of their body on there for the world to see. They think that's wise. So generally speaking, who's looking at that and thinking, great, that's the sort of woman I want as a wife? Someone who's making those decisions right now. But that's because they're not ready. They're not ready. Most women, young women, think that the world is, full of fluffy towels and kittens and princesses and princes. Oh, they haven't got the foggiest notion of the world they're stepping into. God, no. And especially college. Jesus Christ. Most young women, they have no idea. Yeah, once the drink and the drugs get into them and they start going to some student parties and the hedonistic nature of college, yeah, it's a bit of a shock. But again, understand the way the world, and certainly that world, is going to see you, because university, college, that sort of thing. The boys there, they're not looking to you for relationship. Most of them know that you're not ready for that yet, but you are ready for the sex. And yeah, it's horrendous. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not in any way, shape or form. I'm not saying it's the way that we in society should be proud of that, but that is a reality. And that is because we do have, because our young women are incredibly immature. And they are. And it's not really serving them. What they should have done years back was give young women the option to stay in education or start doing other things, start apprenticeships, start working at the age of 13, 14. So that when they become at the age where they're legally, where it's legal for them to get involved in the more physical sort of relationships and all that sort of stuff, and legal for them to drink, they will have a certain degree of maturity before they start doing that. But society didn't do that. Society failed young women a long time ago. And the church failed young women, because the church could have done this. The church could have really been pushing for this. But the problem is the church doesn't want to speak about sex. It doesn't want to speak truth about any of this stuff. Because, oh no, we can't speak about that. Well, you've got to. You should do. Because it's relevant. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Have a fantastic... Well, we've got the weekend coming up, because this is Thursday the 23rd of November. So have a fantastic weekend. And for the following days, be blessed. Be a blessing. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.